Morning children. Last class we discussed about the lesson 1 measurement, right? Yes. Today we are going to see the living world of plants biology. Okay? First, introduction. Biology is a natural science concerned with the study of living organisms. Okay? Include the structure and functions. So we are going to discuss about the living world of plants. Yes, in this unit we are going to see about how to plant grows, how it produces food, variety of plant and the suitable living places like habitat, and finally plant adaptation and modification. These only we are going to discuss about briefly. First, let us get into the unit plant forms and functions. Okay. Our body is made up of many organisms. Similarly, the plant body is also made up of several organisms such as root, stem, leaves and flowers. Yes. We are going to see about how the plant forms and how it functions. Okay. Human body is made up of several organisms like heart, brain, etc. Yes. Yes, similarly, like that plant body also made up of several organisms such as root, stem, leaves and flowers. Plants are of many forms and many colors, yet they are alike in some manner. That is, they all have stems and leaves above the ground which we can easily and roots below the ground. If you see any plant in the tree, it has two parts. One is the underground part and another one is the upper surface part. Yes, by according to this we are classify the plant into two systems. That is, the first one is the underground part is called root system and upper surface is called as the shoot system. Here see this diagram. This is the plant, you already know. This is the underground part is called what, children? Root system. Root system is the underground part and the upper surface is called as the shoot system. Are you understood? See here. This is the shoot system and this is the root system. Here see root system, stem, taproot, lateral root. And the shoot system contains reproductive shoot, flower, bud, intermode, apical bud, shoot, leaf blade, petiole, stem. Okay, these are the shoot system. Are you understood, children? Yes. Shall I go to next page, children? Okay. First one is the root system. Let us see briefly about the root system. Okay. The underground part of the main axis of the plant is known as root, which we call as root system. The underground part of the plant is called as root. Okay. It lies below the surface of the soil. The root lies below the surface of the soil. It lies below the surface of the soil. It has the root cap at the tip. The root has no nodes and internodes. A tuft of the root hairs is found just above the root tip. The roots are positively geotropic in nature. Now they are telling it has the root cap also. For example, carrot, we can observe the root hair in the carrot, right? Yes, the hair like part in the root is called what? Roots. So example, beetroot, carrot, these are the examples for the root system. The root has no nodes and internodes. The roots are positively geotropic in nature. What is the meaning of geotropic, children? It always land and soil to grow. Plants need land and soil, right? Yes. This root system is classified into two types. The first one is the taproot system and second one is the fibrous root system. Okay. Let's see taproot system. See, this is the taproot system. See here this diagram. This is the taproot system. It contains of a single root called taproot. Taproot means what? It consists of a single root. It is nothing but when the root grows straight down into the ground. The root grows straight down into the ground to get the grip of the whole plant. Yes or no? Yes. So the smaller roots called lateral roots arise from the taproot. So side by side, see, small roots are having no. So these are called as the lateral roots. They arise from the taproot. They are seen in the dicotyledons plants. So the root grows straight down in the ground. The branches like either side of the taproot is called lateral root. These taproot is mostly seen in the dicotyledons plants. Yes or no? Yes. Have you all clear about it? For example, bean, mango, neem. It also grows straight to the ground. It having the taproot. It also having the taproot. So we call as the taproot system. This is the main root system. See here. The taproot contains the main root. It grows straight down in the ground. Yes or no? So this is called as the taproot. Side by side having lateral roots. These are the lateral roots. Are you understood, children? Yes. Next one is the fibrous root system. Next one is what, children? Fibrous root system. Fibrous root system means what, children? It grows on the surface of the land to get the grip of the plant or tree. It grows on the surface of the plant to get the grip of the plant and tree. It consists of a cluster of roots arising from the base of the stem. They are thin and uniform in size. It is generally seen in monocotyledons plants. Okay, it has a cluster of roots, children. Its roots are looking like what, children? Thin and uniform in size. This is mostly seen in the monocotyledons plants. Okay, when you remove the grass from your surrounding, if you seen any grass is your surrounding, means just remove and you can find out and see the roots have form of clusters, and it is easy to remove the roots also because it grows on the surface of the ground only. But in the case of taproot, it grows straight down the ground. So it is little different to remove when compared to the fibrous root system. For example, grass, paddy, rice. These are the examples for the fibrous root system. These plants having the fibrous roots. So these are the best example for the fibrous root system. Next one is the function of root. Next one is what, children? Function of root. First point, fixes the plant to the soil, absorbs water and minerals from the soil. It fixes the plant to the soil. We are fixing the root to the soil. So the root only fixes it to the soil. Okay. And next point is what? It absorbs water and minerals from the soil, and after that it transfers it to the upper part of the shoot system. See, this is the fibrous root of grass. Okay. It stores the food in some plants like carrot and beetroot. These roots stores the foods in some plants like carrot, beetroot and ginger. So we call ginger is the underground stem. Is it root or stem? Ginger is the stem because it grows in the underground part. So it is called as the stem. Shall I move to next one? Next one is the shoot system. Next one is what, children? Shoot system. The aerial part of the plant body above the ground is known as shoot system. So here seen the main part in the shoot system is what, children? Stem. Yes or no? Yes. It only holds the whole plant. So it grows towards the sunlight. Whenever you see the plant, it grows upwards only. The shoot system contains stem, leaves, flowers and fruits. The shoot system also contains what? Stem, leaves, flowers and fruits. Okay. So the main axis of the shoot system is what, children? Stem. So the aerial part of the plant body is the ground, to known as the shoot system because it grows towards the sunlight. Stem grows above the soil and it grows towards the sunlight. It has nodes and internodes. Shoot system having nodes and internodes. The point where the leaves grown up, branches are grown up is called as the node. What is meant by node, children? The point where the leaves grown up or branches grown up is called as the node. Internode means it is between the two successive nodes is called as the internodes. Two successive nodes. Here see this diagram. See the point where the, here see, wait. The point where the leaves grown up or branches grown up is called node, children. Here see, this is the internode. Internode means what, children? Between the two successive nodes. Between the two successive nodes is called as the internode. See, this is one node and this is another node. So that between the two internodes, between the two nodes is called as the internode. Are you understood? Yes. Next. The bud at the tip of the stem is known as apical terminal bud, and the buds at the axil of the leaves are called axillary buds. Here see, next bud. Bud is the tip of the stem. Bud arises the tip of the stem or branches of the stem. It is also called as the apical or terminal bud. When can see the little leaves arise from the tip of the plant, that only we called as the terminal bud. Another one is called as the axillary bud. It grows in the starting point of the branch, that is called node. Yes or no? Node already you know, no? So that is called as the node. So which is the apical bud and terminal bud, children? The bud arises at the tip of the stem or branches of the stem is called apical or terminal bud. And which is the terminal bud? When we can see the little leaves arises from the tip of the plant, that only we called as the terminal bud. But when the axil of the leaves are called as the axillary buds. Are you understood? Next one is the function of the stem. What are the main functions of the stem? Supports the branch, leaves, flowers and fruits. Transports water and minerals from roots to upper aerial plant pods. Transport the prepared food from leaves to the other pods through stem. Store food as in the case of sugarcane. So the function of the stem is what means? The stem support the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. Next point, root absorb mineral water. You already know. Yes or no? So after that it transfers into the stem. In that stem again transfer the water and minerals to the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. Okay. So the leaves do the photosynthesis process. You already know. It do the photosynthesis in the presence of the sunlight. So after that the photosynthesis, the leaves get the energy. It transforms the energy to the stem and root also. So sugarcane is the best example for this. So sugarcane store the food into the stem. Are you understood this one? Yes. Next is the structure of the leaf. Next is the what, children? Structure of leaf. The leaf is a green, flat, expanded structure borne on the stem or the node. You already know leaf is green in color. It is look like a flat, expanded structure. See, this is the leaf. This is the part of the leaf. See, stem, node, internode. Stem, node, internode. This is the petiole, midrib, blade, margin, and this is the axillary bud. These are the parts of the leaf. Okay, are you understood, children? Shall we see briefly? Yes. Next, a leaf has a stalk called petiole. What is already I told, no? This is the petiole. The leaf has a stalk called petiole. This is the petiole. The leaf has a stalk called petiole. See, between the starting point of the leaf. Yes or no? Yes. So one space is there known as is called as the petiole. The flat portion of the leaf is called as the leaf lamina or leaf blade. See, this is the leaf blade. This is called as the leaf lamina. Okay. Next, on lamina there is the main vein called midrib. See, this is the lamina, no? This lamina, the main verb is called as the midrib. Center part is having one straight vein having, no? That is called as the midrib. The center of the leaf is a midrib. The midrib only, the other veins are grown in the surroundings. Okay. Next, The other veins are branched out from the midrib, already you know. The portion of the leaf contained in the nodal region of the stem is the leaf base. Nodal region of the stem is called as the what, children? Leaf base. We already know about the node, no? What is node? The point where the branches arrive is called as the node. So the green colored pigment is called as the chlorophyll here. So the leaves of some plants possess a pair of lateral outgrowth on basis on the either side of axillary bud. These are called stipules. Stipules means what? Either side of the axillary bud. This is the axillary bud. The either side of the axillary bud we call as the stipules. So the green color of the leaf is due to the presence of chlorophyll. On the lower side of the leaf there are tiny pores. Yes, see the back side of the leaves having some tiny pores or openings called, that is a stomata. What is that? Stomata. Once again I repeat you, the green colored pigment is called as the chlorophyll. It present in all plants because of the pigment only. Yes or no? These leaves used to absorb the carbon dioxide by using the stomata only. We already know the trees absorb carbon dioxide and release the oxygen. Yes or no? Trees inhale the carbon dioxide and exhale the oxygen. In the base of the leaf we can see the tiny pores called stomata. So the axillary buds grows the either side of the bud, that is called as the stipules. Are you understood this structure of the leaves, children? Yes or no? Yes. Next is the function of the leaf. Next one is what? Function of the leaf. First point, prepare food by the process of photosynthesis, helps in respiration, carry out transpiration. So the leaf do the photosynthesis process, already you know, and they get the energy from the sun. So tiny pores is called as the stomata. It helps for the respiration and finally carried out the transpiration also. So some example for leaves that is good for your health. Yes or no? That is what? Drumstick leaves, spinach. This is a good for your health and eatable one also. So this is used for eating and healthy also. Yes or no? Yes. Shall I move to next page? Wait. Next, how do we classify the plants? Okay, how do we classify the plants? Based on the flower, plants can be classified into two main groups. First one is the flowering plants and next one is the non-flowering plants. You already know this is the flowering plants because the flowers are grown in the plant. Here having non-flowering plants, these plants did not produce the flowers. Okay, so based on the following, the plants can be classified into two groups. There is a flowering and non-flowering. And at the same time, here see, based on the position of the seed, plants can be divided into two groups. That is called as the angiosperms and gymnosperms. That is called as what, children? Angiosperms and gymnosperms. Example for angiosperm is mango tree. Okay. When we fix the seed of the mango, it will grow up as a new plant. Right? Yes. So these seeds are reproducible one. So this is called as the angiosperms. And what is meant by gymnosperms, children? The seeds are not reproductive one. Example, what? Banana. We know it has seeds, but that are not grown up. Yes or no? We can see the banana seeds as tiny seeds. That why we called as the gymnosperms. It won't give a new plant. It won't give a new plant. So that seed is called as the gymnosperm. Reproductive one is called as the angiosperms. Are you clear about this? What? Each and every organism need a place to live and reproduce, such as dwelling place is called as the habitat. What is mean by dwelling place? Home place. Okay. So for us also having hometown like Chennai, Kanchipuram, Coimbatore, like that many places are having, no. So the plant also having the home places, that shoots are grown in the specific place. Hence, we are going to see the plants are grown in the specific place like mountain. Yes or no? Yes, mountain habitats or places where plants and animals live. So, the specific place are called as the what? Habitat. The plant has a unique space to grow up we are going to see about some types of habitat also. Let us see about it. Okay, the first one we are classified into two types. The first one is the aquatic and second one is the terrestrial. What is meant by aquatic, children? When we visit a pond, we see some plants appear to float on the water. So aquatic means the plant that grown in the water only. So that is called as the aquatic plant. Terrestrial means it is fully based on the land. It is fully based on the grown up on the land. So aquatic means the plants grown on the water. Terrestrial means the plants grown up on the land. Okay, are you understood this one? Yes. Next, when we visit a pond, we see some plants appear to float on the water. One of the common plant is the lotus plant. Its leaves float on the water. There is a small frog sitting on the leaf. Yes or no? So the plant which grows in the presence of water. When we go to the pond, we can see some plants like lotus which is floating on the water, and the lotus leaf also floating on the water. So that leaf having frogs and insect also flying, fluttering around the flowers. The stem of the plant is seen to be inside of the water. Yes, the lotus flower stem is seen inside of the water. It is submerged into the water. Its roots are found within the muddy floor of the pond. Its roots are found in the muddy floor of the pond. As the plants grow in water, so we call as the aquatic plant. The aquatic habitat includes areas that are permanently covered by water and surrounding areas that are occasionally covered by water. So there are two types of aquatic habitat. That is, the first one is the freshwater habitat and second one is the marine water habitat. Okay, here see, do you know Nile is the longest river in the world? It is 6,650 km long. Which is the longest river in the world, children? Nile is the longest river in the world. It is 6,650 km long. So the longest river in India is what, children? Ganga river. It is 2,525 km long. Okay, first one we see freshwater habitat. Rivers, lakes, ponds and pools are the freshwater habitat. Water hyacinth, water lily and lotus are seen in the freshwater habitat. In these plants, roots are very much reduced in size. Stem and leaf have air chambers that allow aquatic plants to float in water. So what is meant by freshwater habitat, children? Some plants only grow up in the freshwater areas like rivers, lake, ponds and pools. For example, water hyacinth, water lily and lotus. These roots are reduced in size. It has the air chamber and it only help to float. Air chamber only help to float the flower in the water. Okay, are you understood? Next one is the marine water habitat. From outer space, Earth looks like an Asian blue marble. That's because most of the Earth's surface, more than 70% is covered by oceans. Oceans also support the growth of plants. Marine plants perform about 40% of the photosynthesis that occurs on the planet. Example, marine alga, seagrass, marsh grass, phytoplankton. So, what is meant by marine habitat? When we see the outer space of the earth, it seems to like a blue marble because 70% of water is covered in the marine water. Yes or no? So, 40% of photosynthesis that is occurred on the planet. So, some planets are there. Example, marine alga, sea grasses. These are the plants only grown in the marine water. That's why we called it as the marine water habitat. Are you understood, children? Yes. Next one is the terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial habitat are the ones that are found on the land like forest, grassland and desert. It also includes man-made habitats like farms, towns and cities. They can be big as the continent or as small as the island. They make up about 28% of entire world habitat. So what is meant by terrestrial habitat? You already know. It grows only in the land. For example, rubber tree, teak tree, like that. Yes or no? So the terrestrial habitat is found in the forest, grassland and desert. Yes. It also includes the man-made habitats like farms, towns and cities. So 28% of the entire world habitat only formed. Next one. The first and land plants appeared about 4,700 million years ago. The first and the first land plant is about when 470 million years ago. Okay, the Amazon rainforest in South America produces half of the world oxygen supply. So the terrestrial habitat is classified into three types such as desert, grassland and forest. First we are going to see about the desert habitat. A habitat without much water is called desert. What is meant by desert, children? A habitat without much water is called desert. The desert are the driest place you already know on the earth. They get fewer than 25 centimeter of rainfall annually. Deserts cover at least 20% of the earth. The plants which grows in the habitat have thick leaves that store water and minerals. The plant like cactus store water in the stem and leaves are reduced to spines. They have long roots that go very deep in the soil in search of water. So what is meant by desert habitat, children? In the desert the water level is very low and the desert having hot climate. So some plants grow only in the desert like cactus. So the cactus store water in the stem. Whenever it needs the water and minerals, it transforms into root, the plants that grow only in the desert. These plant shoots grown only in the lower rainfall area. So the leaves are reduced the spines also. They have long roots and they go to the deep in the soil. Yes or no? So the types of desert habitat is what means hot dry desert, semi dry desert, coastal desert, cold desert. So for example, cactus, algae, aloe, bryophyllum. These are the examples of the desert habitat. Okay, are you understood, children? So here see fact file. The Thar Desert also known as the Great Indian Desert. Thar Desert is the Great Indian Desert. Next one is the grassland habitat. Grassland is the area where the vegetation is dominated by grasses. Grasses ranges from short to tall. Example, savanna grassland. So it is the very familiar to us because every farmer use the grassland only to cultivate the crops and farm and plants also. So good example, wheat, paddy are grown in the grassland area only. It is the best place for the farmer. So farmer only choose the grassland for produce the what? Wheat, paddy, like that. Okay. Next, forest habitat. Forest is the large area denominated by trees. There are three types of forest under tropical forest, temperate forest and mountain forest. Tropical forest, temperate forest and mountain forest. Annual rainfall ranges from 25 to 200 centimeter. So it needs to grow up in the forest area only. Example, tropical forest, temperate forest and types of forest is what? Tropical forest, temperate forest and mountain forest. Here the annual rainfall range is what, children? 25 to 200 centimeter. Next, last one, plant adaptation and modifications. Adaptations are the special features in plants which help them to survive in the habits they live in over a long period. Plant in a specific environment has developed specific features which help them to grow and live in the particular habit. In this chapter, let us discuss some adaptations like tendril, twinners and thorns. These adaptations are seen in plants which live in terrestrial and desert habitat. So the plant which needs support to the other plant grown up is called as the adaptation. What is meant by adaptation, children? The plant which need support to the other plant grown up, because some plant do not even stand on its own stem. In that plant needs some neighbor plant to grown up or survive. Such plant is called as the adaptation plant. For example, here see tendril climber. Tendril is the twinning climbing organ of some weak stemmed plants like peas and bitter gourd. Did you see the peas and bitter gourd? No, children? Vegetables. So these peas and bitter gourd having tendril climber, a climbing organ of the some weak stemmed plants. Tendril coils round a support and help the plant to climb. These tendril coils only support the plant to climb over the tree or anything else. Okay, so the first one, sweet peas. Leaflets are modified into tendrils. Bitter gourd, axillary buds are modified into tendril, which helps plant to climb. Here, see, this is the diagram. See, this is climb on the, it support the plant to climb. Yes or no? So, yes. Do you know the bamboo is one of the fast growing plant during active growth phase? So, the bamboo is the one of the fast growing plant. Next one is the twinners. What is meant by twinners, children? Some plants have weak stems. They cannot stand straight on the own. So, they want to climb on the any other place. So, they must climb on any support to survive. For example, Clitoria and Jasmine. Okay. Next, last one, thorns. Thorns, leaves of some plants become wholly or partly modified into sharp pointed structures called thorns. Yes, thorns means what? Sharp pointed structures called thorns or spines. So, algae. Do you see algae? Algae, the leaf apex and margins are modified into thorns. Opuntia, the leaves are modified into spines. Bougainvillea, the stem has sharped thorns. So, the leaves have sharp thorns or sharp structures called as the spines. Okay, these are the examples for thorns, that is algae, opuntia. Cactus is the green color in and perform photosynthesis. Okay, that's all, children. The lesson over. I think you understood everything. Once again, I recap this one. Taproot means a primary root that grows vertically downward and gives off small lateral roots. Fibrous root is the cluster of roots. Habitat means what? The area where the particular organism actually lives. Aquatic habitat means the plant whose natural habitat is water. Terrestrial means the plant whose natural habitat is land. Adaptation means what, children? The change in the structure or behavior of an organism that helps the plant to survive in the particular habitat. So, a change in the organism caused by the environmental factors. And then tendril climber means what? A slender organ of the modification of stem. Twinner means the plant which climb upon the trees and other objects. Thorn means a sharp and stiffed part of the modification of stem. Next, plant body of flowering plant contain two main parts, that is the root system and shoot system. Root fix the plant to the soil. The root absorb water and minerals from the soil. Stem is the ascending part of the plant axis. It has nodes and internodes. Leaf perform the three major functions such as photosynthesis, respiration and transpiration. So, I think you understood everything clearly. So, no. That's all the lesson over, children. Then and then you take the notes and read well. Okay, thank you.